And and it came to pass when she saw that he had left his garment in her hand and was fled forth, that she called unto the men of the house and spake unto them, saying, See, he hath brought in an Hebrew unto us to mock us. He came in unto me to lie with me, and I cried with a loud voice. And it came to pass when he heard that I lifted up my voice and cried, that he left his garment with me and fled and got him out. And she laid up his garment by her until his Lord came home. And she spake unto him according to these words, saying, The Hebrew servant which thou hast brought unto us came in unto me to mock me. And it came to pass, as I lifted up my voice and cried, that he left his garment with me and fled out. And it came to pass, when his master heard the words of his wife, which she spake unto him, saying, After this manner did thy servant to me, that his wrath was kindled. And Joseph's master took him and put him into prison, a place where the king's prisoners were bound, and he was there in prison. But the Lord was with Joseph and showed him mercy and gave him favour in the sight of the keeper of the prison. And so we see he was tempted, but he refused to sin, but he was falsely accused and he was punished unjustly. And then if we go over to chapter 41 and verse 37, we see that Pharaoh had had a dream and was troubled by the dream. And Joseph came and interpreted his dream to him. And the dream was that there was going to be 7 years of famine in Egypt. And then there was going to be 7 good years of plenty first, and then there was going to be 7 years of famine. And Joseph said to the king, to Pharaoh, he said, you need to appoint somebody to gather up the food in the 7 good years and store it for the bad years. And verse 37 says, And the thing was good in the eyes of Pharaoh and the eyes of his servants. And Pharaoh said unto his servants, Can we find such an one as this is, a man in whom is the Spirit of God? And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, Forasmuch as God hath showed thee all this, there is none so discreet and wise as thou art. Thou shalt be over my house, and according unto thy word shall all my people be ruled. Only in the throne will I be greater than thou. And so we see that he was raised up out of prison to be next to the king. And then in chapter 43, we see that his brethren came down. They wanted to get food during the famine, and they came down to Egypt. And eventually Joseph made himself known to them, and he provided salvation for his brethren. And through his grace and mercy, he redeemed them from death through the famine. Genesis 43:45, verse 45. It's chapters 43 to 45. That's the whole story of it. They come down and he tests them to see if they'll protect their young brother Benjamin. And when he finds that they do, he makes himself known to them. And he makes it possible for the children of Israel to come down into Egypt and to settle there. And so instead of them dying in the famine in the land of Canaan, they come down, and it's through his grace and mercy that they're redeemed from death through the famine. And so we see this story of Joseph, and we wonder about it when we see it in the Old Testament. In many ways it seems such an unfair story, but when we relate it to this doctrine of redemption, and then we look at the fulfillment, we'll come back to this story of Joseph again, and we'll see just how wonderful this story is. And we'll leave it there just for now.